Real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it. But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it. We say yes. Yes. Bring it to Premier Chrysler Jeep Ram and Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree. The guest I have tonight is Ben Willoughby of the ATO fraternity. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
And I want to mention a couple of our sponsors real quick. I want to thank Troy Baker Trust Company, Chimney Hot Sauces, Pike Farmers Co-op. I was there today in Goshen and getting a few things. Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Troy, and Jason Gregory, and of course Golden Boy and Pond Stalker 2, Jim Mullis and Jet Trotter. Ladies and gentlemen, I met Ben. He is a intern at Pike Liberal Arts under Brian Matthews.
Correct.
And that's how we met, and we got to talking, and we usually have break together and lunch. And I want to thank you for coming to the show. And Ben, a little bit about yourself. Where's your hometown?
I'm from Birmingham, specifically Vestavia Hills.
Okay. What high school did you go to?
I went to Vestavia Hills High School.
What year did you graduate?
2018.
2018. So you're about 22.
22.
22.
Yes,
okay.
I'll be 23 in July.
Okay.
So.
What day?
16th.
Okay, the 16th of July. And Ben, now have your mother and dad, you got any siblings?
Yeah, I've got a brother who is a sophomore at the University of Alabama.
Okay.
He plays football there. I've got a sister who is a senior at Vestavia Hills High School. She's going to Auburn in the fall.
Okay.
And then I have another sister who is a sophomore at Vestavia.
Okay. Has she got any idea where she wants to go?
No idea where she wants to go, but I mean, if she continues the trend, she will go somewhere other than Auburn, Alabama, or Troy.
Okay. Now, your dad and mother, who are your parents?
My dad is an accountant in Birmingham. He's a partner with the firm Dent Moses.
Okay.
And my mom is a first grade teacher at one of the elementary schools in Vestavia.
Yeah. Now, what are their names?
Leah Willoughby and Lee Willoughby.
Okay. Now, your mother's maiden name, if you don't mind, what's her maiden name, just out of curiosity?
Maiden name is Wimberly.
Wimberly?
Yes, sir.
So Wimberly and Willoughby.
And Willoughby, yes.
Okay. Now, they both from the Birmingham area originally?
They are. They are both from the Huffman Trustful area.
Okay. Now, Ben, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. Why did you choose Troy University?
So I chose Troy University because originally I was looking for somewhere that I could potentially maybe play football. And that was back when Neil Brown was here. Okay. And I was hoping to eventually maybe get on the team. Once I rushed ATO, though, that kind of was no longer something I was interested in doing. Okay.
Were you a receiver or defensive back? Okay.
I was a receiver.
Okay, receiver. And so you, that was your first intention. Now what, that's why you chose Troy. And then why Greek? Why the fraternities? What interested you there?
So when I got to Troy, just with the kind of dynamic of the campus, I quickly realized joining a fraternity is something that I want to do. Okay. And just a couple of the guys that I met in ATO, it was just something that I wanted to be a part of.
Okay. Who were those guys?
One guy in particular, Jake Simonetti, he graduated last year. He's now working in Birmingham. He was a guy that I talked to and had some prior connections with, and he introduced me to some other guys that really made me feel comfortable in rushing ATO. So.
Okay. And so you've been a member for, this is your fourth year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And a little bit about ATO. I know y'all have been, I think y'all were the chancellors. What did y'all win last year as far as, doesn't the chancellor or the university have they named the outstanding Greek organization, male and female?
If we won that, I'm unaware of it.
Okay.
We might have.
Okay.
But
y'all doing good in sports. I mean,
we're doing well in sports. We've had a good year in sports.
Yeah, so. You're pretty good academically too.
Yes, sir. We are.
And y'all won Greek football, Greek volleyball,
and basketball.
Yes, sir. Okay.
looking to win softball here soon.
Okay, well, good. Well, now, other than now ATO, what does that actually stand for?
Alpha Tau Omega.
Omega. There's about probably 6 or 7 fraternities on campus.
Yes, sir. I believe
Maybe,
now 7.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, sir.
And about 6 to 10 sororities, somewhere in there, all of them included. And now, if you went, and of course, I'm a Sigma Chi. I was at Troy. I was in the Greek system. And now, some of the benefits of being in the Greek system, what, in your opinion, what are some of the benefits?
I think the benefits of Greek life in general are limitless, truly. I think being in a fraternity or sorority allows you to interact with a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. It allows you to take on different leadership roles and things of that nature. And I mean, those are 2 of the big reasons. But I think just being in an organization of that size with the diversity of people is really that, along with the friendships and connections that you make. Those would be the main reasons why I would tell anybody to join a fraternity or sorority.
There you go. Before we take a break, I want to mention a couple of events coming up in the community. First of all, the Salvation Army is having their Empty Bowl campaign on Friday, April the 8th, from 11 until 2 p.m. at Bush Memorial Baptist Church at the Family Life Center. Students can get in, eat soup and bread and dessert and something to drink for $10 with their student ID. A person can go and get, for $20, you can go in and eat. And they were on last week, Miss Donna Kidd and Donna McClaney Jones, and I bought a bowl. It says L. Lee on the back. So when you go in, you get a bowl like this of your choice. And then, of course, they'll give you another bowl to eat out of. But you get a handcrafted clay bowl, soup, bread, beverage, and dessert. If you want to be a sponsor, you can contact the Salvation Army at 808-1069. They have different tax-deductible sponsorships. $1,000 is gold. Silver is $500. Bronze is $250. Patron is $100. And a friend of the Salvation Army is $99 or less. Another big event coming to Goshen High School in their gymnasium on April the 1st is Slam Down in G-Town in Goshen. It's Friday, April the 1st at 7:30. For $10, you can get into the gym. They're having a WrestleMania. There it is on the screen. There are limited ringside seating for $20. It will benefit Goshen Athletics. They will have an autograph session at the Eagle's Nest. That's where I had. That's where I ate lunch today in Goshen.
Okay.
Had some collards and green beans and sweet tea. But anyway, there's an autograph session between 3 and 5 on April the 1st. For more information about this event, contact 672-4265. Again, Slam Down in G-Town wrestling event. And we, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more with Ben Willoughby.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Tonight, we have Ben Willoughby of the ATO fraternity, and we're going to specifically now talk about Walk Hard. Ben, let's talk about some of the historical things of Walk Hard. When did it start and who started it?
So, Walk Hard originally, the first time that it was ever done was in 2010. Two guys, their names are Kyle Crabtree and Austin Bivens. They originally had this idea of the 128.3 mile trek to Panama City. They did it, just them two, over spring break, and that is in 2010 kind of how Walk Hard originated.
Okay.
We now walk for Jeep Sullivan's Wounded Warrior Outdoor Adventure, which I'll get into, but at that point they were walking, they weren't even walking for any military related cause, so it's come a long way.
Okay. So when did it start for a military cause, roughly? Do you have?
Well, we started supporting Jeep Sullivan 8 years ago.
Okay.
So
okay. And if we can, let's go ahead and look at some of those pictures. And what you can do, Ben, is this is the final
okay.
$125,000 that you raised, that the fraternity raised for Jeep Sullivan Wounded Warrior Outdoor Adventures program.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do they do with that money?
So what Jeep does with the money, Jeep, he's this guy on the right on the table right there in the white shirt. He runs this organization with his arm in the air. Okay. Yes. So Jeep takes guys who guys have been wounded in combat, got PTSD, missing limbs, guys who've just suffered different combat related injuries. Mm-hmm. He takes them on different hunting, fishing, just different outdoors trips.
Right. Fully funded.
With other guys that, yes, partially, that's largely funded by us. Mm-hmm. And he takes them on these trips and shares the gospel with them. It's a really cool thing. Jeep has been doing this full time for, I think, around 10 years before this. Okay. He was the pastor at First Baptist Bonifay. Bonifay, Florida. And
that's my mother's name is Bonnie Faye McLeod Lee.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. Spelled different. Go ahead.
So
Bonifay.
A lot of the because Jeep was doing this part-time before he started doing it full-time, and a lot of the veterans that he had become friends with, he said there's a tremendous, just encouraged him that there's a tremendous need in the community for you to do this full-time if you want to. So yeah.
Now this is during the trek, and y'all actually walk on the left side, so you're facing the traffic. So when you see somebody coming at you, you can dodge to the left. And that's a smart way to walk.
Right.
Do you know who that fella is there? No.
That is Nate Richardson. He's a freshman from Greenville, Alabama.
Greenville, Alabama. All right. You icing your feet down, whoever that is.
Who are
those guys?
This is Davis Humphrey. He is a sophomore from Helena, Alabama.
Okay.
The other guy is Ben Tu. He is a junior from, where's Ben from? He is from Headland, Alabama. Okay, and on the far right actually went to Goshen. Seth Elmore.
Yeah.
He is he's a junior, I believe.
Right.
So this was there's Ben and Seth, that's their second time walking, and it was Davis's first.
Okay, now after the walk, y'all immediately try to ice your feet down? Or does everybody do that? Or
most people do. It's highly encouraged. Okay. Guys that have walked multiple times, obviously, nobody's going to tell them how to take care of their bodies. But pretty much right when you finish walking, over the course of the day. The whole rest of the night is dedicated to recovery for your body.
Now, that truck in the background, is that part of the...
So that is actually Jeep's truck there on the left. And that trailer is Jeep pulls it behind his truck, and he'll hook it up at the church that we stay at, and we take showers in that thing.
Okay,
so
good.
It's got about 6 different showers in that trailer.
Okay, then they keep it sanitized and all that?
They do.
Now, what church is that right there, Ben?
I believe this is... Where did we stay that night? This church would have been in Hartford, I believe.
Okay. So now, y'all started spring break. Y'all started the Friday the
11th, March 11th, I believe.
So you walked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, arrived this past Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you average how many miles a day?
Average probably somewhere around 21, 22.
Okay.
The max we walk on a day is 28 on the first day.
Okay.
And then on the last day we only walk 16.
Okay.
So.
Let's go to the next picture. That's a good shot, and that's ATO. Is that the international flag of ATO, or is that just a certain?
I believe this is just
just
a flag. Yeah, just kind of decorative. We've got our crest there.
Who are those guys?
This is Sam Hodelin, Logan Carnes, and Chris Valencia.
Who's this year's who was the organizer this year?
Matthew Taylor, who was a senior.
Okay.
He was the director.
Have you already selected a director for next year?
We have.
And who was that?
That will be Chip Faircloth, who's from Troy and went to Pike Lib.
Chip Faircloth. That's great. All right, let's
He's gonna do a great job.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. This lady is Miss Judy. She rides Brisket the Bull, and then we're hoping to have her as a guest in about 2 or 3 weeks. She lives in Rutledge, Alabama, that area, and I met her at a beauty salon in Rutledge. I just stopped by to get my hair cut, and her cousin is the hairdresser, and this is at a rodeo event somewhere with holding the flag, but that's Brisket the Bull and Miss Judy. Let's go to the next photo. Is this, I recognize, that's
Gabe Meredith on the
Gabe
right.
Meredith. All right, go ahead from left to right.
From left to right, there's actually a lot of Troy natives in this photo.
Okay.
You have Chip Faircloth, who's from Troy. This is Seth Elmore, he's from Goshen, but lives in Troy now.
That's a Hussey guy. That's
Brian Hussey.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah.
Eli Grice.
Oh, yeah.
Troy Morgan, and then Gabe Meredith. Right. So a lot of locals.
Eli, is that Steve and Angie's son?
I believe those are his parents' names. Yeah.
There you go. Now, what day of the walk was that?
This was on the first day. This is actually on the quad at the university before we left. So that's when this picture was taken.
Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. I guess is that arriving or
this is so the last probably mile of the walk. We walk down Back Beach Road with a police escort, and there's a helicopter flying over the top of us. It's kind of more of a kind of the showish type part of it, as we're actually walking in. This is actually right before that, though, when we walk to the Panama City Beach Welcome Center, and this is Eli Wiley, who's a sophomore. That his grandfather was waiting for him there, and
I bet his granddaddy was in the service.
He was. You
know what branch of service?
I believe. I don't want to say because I'm not entirely sure, but I believe he served in Vietnam. I could be wrong on that.
Well, when you say military, my dad, Joe, was from Luverne, Alabama. All his brothers were in the service. Daddy was in the United States Navy to begin with, served in the Korean War. Then he served in the United States Air Force, and he's a disabled veteran. We lost him in 1995. My older brother, Kenny, is a United States Marine, and also in the Alabama Guard, and I was in the Army Guard.
Right.
So we had all 4 major branches covered: the Marines, Air Force, Navy, and Army.
Wow.
So, got several kinfolks who were in the military or have been in the military. All right, that's a good shot. Let's go to the next picture. This is before you left. There's the
another
Trojan
shot prior to the wall. Yes.
Okay. And y'all suffered through some. What kind of weather conditions did y'all have?
The weather was definitely brutal this year. On the morning of day 2, we dealt with sleet in Enterprise.
As you were leaving?
Really cold and windy. And then on the 5th day, most of the I walked in the rain for the last 5 miles. Some guys walked in the rain for up to probably 12 to 13 miles.
Right.
Hard rain, wind. It was cold.
Yeah.
Elements were tough.
Let's go to the next. And this is when you're leaving Troy University.
Yes.
Okay. And this is as you arrived into the city limits of Panama City. Well,
correct. This is at the Welcome Center where we walked to initially before we walk into Pier Park. So that's where this photo was taken.
And how many brothers participated this year?
We had 34 guys.
34 guys. And a pledge, he has to wait till he's initiated before he walks.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go to the next picture. Okay, I guess that was the last one. I wish we had one of y'all at the beach in the water. And y'all, that's a pretty rewarding thing. I know mothers are crying, dads are probably crying. And
it is.
That's an emotional time. And being this is you've done this 4 years.
Yes, sir.
It's 128.5 miles.
0.3.
Okay. Now, who else besides Ben Willoughby has done it 4 years?
A pledge brother of mine who is actually he's an ROTC here at Troy. He's graduating in May. His name's Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas.
He's going to be going to Fort Benning over the summer to begin his training. So.
Okay. So he's going to commission as a second or first lieutenant, I believe.
One of the two.
One of the two. Now, have your active brothers? How many of them are in the, say, the reserves or Air Force or Army? Any of them in the?
I believe we have two. Justin and then one other guy, Troy Morgan, is in the National Guard, I believe.
Okay. Where's Troy from?
Troy is from. I'm not entirely sure where Troy's from.
Okay, that's okay. But I was going to mention some in your next. Y'all do this every spring break.
We do.
You start on a Friday, and then you end on a Wednesday. This year, let's talk about the money you earned again. Was what amount?
We raised $125,000 this year. That is the most we've ever raised, and it's crazy to see. The most we'd ever raised my freshman year was $73,000. We set the record the first time I walked at $73,000, and this year we raised $125,000.
Do you know what the other years were? 73.
73 my freshman year, and then I believe we went down to maybe 60 something my sophomore year. Then last year we jumped up to $90,000, and this year $125,000. So.
And how y'all promote that I've seen is through social media, where you may have an individual come on and talk about, hey, I'm a member of ATO.
Right.
And this spring, during spring break, we're walking to the beach. It's called Walk Hard. It's for the Wounded Warrior program. And you mentioned Jeet Sullivan. If you are interested in, here's ways that you can donate to this worthy cause.
Right. And
there's probably 3 or 4 ways they can do it. And then when that person post that on his Facebook wall, then everybody he's a friend of back home, aunts, uncles, friends, they see it, $10, $50, $100, whatever, and then that person will share it. And then the next day you've got another video out of another brother talking about it. And then it just goes like wildfire. And so that's a wonderful way that y'all have promoted Walk Hard. And again, I want to congratulate the fraternity and congratulate you and your brothers for walking this year and the ones years past. And the 2 guys that started it, they had no idea how that's kind of
it
blew
was
up.
Blown up.
Yeah. And I'm wondering who the guy was that said, we can do this? Do you have any idea who? Let's walk for this cause.
Now, I believe I'm not in. It was a chapter decision, so
okay.
I believe that kind of Walk Hard had reached a certain point to where we were, we wanted to support an organization that we had a personal connection to.
Right.
And I think there were a couple different. All I know is that Jeep came and he spoke at a chapter meeting,
okay.
and we voted to support him going forward.
Okay.
So
There you go. Well, that's a wonderful cause. Have you ever been to the Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama?
I have.
Well, guess what? They're one of our sponsors, and this is to Ben Willoughby from Forest Lee. Good News and Interviews with Forest Tree Lee. This is a gift certificate to the Old Barn Restaurant.
I appreciate
Enjoy.
it. I love that place.
I want to thank you for coming
Yes,
on the
sir. Thank
show.
you.
And again, congratulations to ATO and Ben. And who's the other fellow that has walked 4 times?
Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas. So, are there any other brothers in the chapter who have the chance to do all 4? Anybody at year 3?
Next year, Bryant Hussey will become the third man to do it 4 times.
I'm glad you mentioned that name. Bryant Hussey, his grandmother is Kay Stinson.
Okay.
And Kay Stinson lost her husband about maybe 2 years ago. His name was Jim Williford. Jim and I were in the same National Guard unit that were deployed. We were deployed to Saudi Arabia in 1990. And we lost Bill Stevens. We've lost Jim Stinson. And we've lost Jimmy Copeland. And Jimmy Copeland worked for many years here at Troy Cable. So when you say Bryant Hussey, I think of Kay Stinson, Jim Stinson, his granddaddy, and that's an extra encouragement for Bryant. And Brian, if you're out there, and Miss Kay, we love you. And but talking about Jim Williford real quick, Jim had the most hearty laugh you've ever want to be around, and he'd always call me little buddy. And super person. But Ben, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on. Really enjoyed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have with us Miss Latira Baxter from Brundage, Alabama. We'll be back after these messages.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it. But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it. We say yes. Bring it to Premier Chrysler Jeep Ram and Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokee. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forestry Lee. Our next guest is Miss Latira Baxter. Thank you, Latira, for coming. She's a native of Brundage, Alabama. And speaking of Brundage, we want to thank some of our sponsors down there in Brundage, Alabama. Wallace Pump and Supply, Chip and Cott Wallace, the Brundage Country Club, located across from the Walmart Distribution Center. We want to thank Russ, Melanie, and Gibson Baker. I met him through Wallace Pump and Supply and the Brundage Country Club. We want to thank Jackson Hardware, Mr. Brian McDaniels, and I met you about a week or so ago at a Pike County Chambers of Commerce event. And that's how I met you, and it worked out that you could come to the show. And also Pretty Patel, who runs the Pizza Palace there in downtown Brundage, a great place to eat. Also, we want to thank Freddie Frames here in Troy, Alabama. He has a location in Troy and in Enterprise. Well, Miss Baxter, welcome to the show. And a little about, you're from Brundage.
Yes, I'm from Brundage.
Who are your parents?
My parents are Altrina Baxter. She passed away in 2009. And my father is Stephen Shipman.
Stephen Shipman. Now, have you got brothers and sisters?
They're not here.
Okay. Okay, so they're scattered.
Yes,
okay.
They're scattered.
Okay. So what year did you graduate from Brundage?
I graduated from Pike County High School in 2003.
Okay.
That's when we had the 18 players. So everybody's familiar with the 18 strong slogan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, were you involved in any activities at Pike County High?
When high school, I was a majorette.
Okay.
I twirled for 4 years. So I played a little basketball, but that didn't last too long.
Okay. What other kind of organizations were you involved in besides?
I actually participated in the Teen Miss Brundage pageant. I participated twice in several clubs. Organizations.
Did you go to college?
I did. I attended Troy University. I graduated there in 2008.
What was your degree in, by chance?
My degree was in public relations and broadcast journalism.
Okay. Now, since that was 2008.
Now,
what all have you done since? Let's see, 8. What are some of the things that you've been involved in since 2008?
As far as that, I started working at South Alabama Electric Cooperative here on 231 Highway, across from Sisters. I'm active in my church, which is Sweet Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church in Brundage, where Pastor Nathaniel Larkin is my pastor.
Nathaniel Larkin. Mm-hmm. When is the church services there?
Our church service is first, second, third, and fourth Sundays, starting at 10 o'clock a.m.
Okay. Now, do you still work there at?
I still work at South Alabama Electric Cooperative.
And y'all gone through a major facelift, I guess you would say.
Yes.
For lack of better words. And that's a beautiful facility.
We are enjoying the space. We're really enjoying it.
Okay. And now, what is your role? Are you a member of the Rotary Club?
The pageant is actually sponsored by the Brundage Business Association.
Okay.
I am the secretary of the Brundage Business Association. I've been the secretary for probably about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay. Now, the members of the Brundage Business Association are mainly businesses there in Brundage and the outlying areas? That's
correct. We have businesses, and we have some people in the community that come and join in with us.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do y'all meet, the Brundage Business Association? How often do y'all meet?
We meet every second Tuesday at 5:30. That's held at the City Hall, and we invite as many people that want to come in and join us and help make Brundage better to come and join us.
Okay, what are some of the activities that y'all are involved in that you're trying to promote Pike County, specifically the city of Brundage?
That's correct.
And what are some things that y'all do to do that?
We have several events. We have the Miss and Little Miss Brundage pageant. We have the Independence Day parade, which is usually held the last Saturday in June.
Okay.
We have the we've had the Spring Fest event. Not sure if we will have that event this year, but we're trying to find other things to do to kind of replace that one.
Now, the Spring Fest, what did that actually entail? Was that like
It's just a little festival where people come in. We have the vendors and food vendors and just arts and crafts.
There in downtown Brundage?
That's right.
Okay. Besides that,
we also have the Christmas parade, which is usually the first Tuesday in December.
Right. And
that's a big event for us.
And I was lucky enough to be asked to MC that event, and I was there. My daughter took pictures, AbbyLeePhotography.com. She's a photographer. She's also a sponsor. But she took pictures, and Jason Gregory, who owns Chrysler Jeep Premier Dodge here in Troy, he has 2 Clydesdales, and they were in the parade pulling the wagon.
Pulling Santa,
which was someone we know. I think Santa Claus. Pulling Santa Claus, who he was. And that was a neat parade.
It was.
Let's see, I also was in the Peanut Butter Festival, but that's kind of with another group. But y'all work together. Right.
That is with the Brundage Historical Society,
okay.
But we work with them with that event.
Right. And my wife rode with me, but the next time I do it, I do not want to be behind a fire truck. My ears are still recovering.
Oh, yeah.
But let's do this. Let's take a short break, and when we do, we're specifically going to talk about the upcoming Miss Brundage pageant that's going to be held in what day?
It's going to be held April 30th at Pike County High School Fine Arts Building.
Okay, and we're going to talk specifically about that when we come back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it. But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it. We say yes. Bring it to Premier Chrysler Jeep Ram and Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. EPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree. I want to thank Miss Latira Baxter for coming on the show. Earlier we had Ben Willoughby of ATO and Walk Hard. But Ms. Baxter is here to talk about an upcoming pageant in Brundage, Alabama. But before we do that, I want to present her with a certificate to the Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama. I want to thank Amy Chandler and her family for sponsoring this show. And here's your gift certificate for coming on the show. And want to thank you. And let's talk about the pageant coming up.
Well, we have the Miss and Little Miss Brundage pageant. It will be April 30th at Pike County High School.
Okay.
The Fine Arts Building.
Yeah, let me see your flyer there, because I can't read that fine tune. It's going to be at Pike County High School.
It's going to be at Pike County High School at the Fine Arts Building.
Okay.
We have two separate times. We have 2:00 p.m. and 6:00 p.m. The age range for the pageant is girls from 2 to 21 years of age.
Okay.
Just a little bit about the extra categories that we have. We have the prettiest hair, prettiest dress, prettiest smile, prettiest eyes, and those are it's $75 to enter into the pageant.
Okay. I see you got Tiny Miss,
Right.
which is 2 to 4, Future Little Miss 5 to 6. You got Little Miss first grade, Petite Miss second and third grade, Junior Miss, which is 4th and 5th grade, Pre-Teen 6th through 8th grade, Teen Miss 9 through the 9th and 10th graders, and the Miss is 17 to 21 years old. So someone who has graduated could be in the Miss pageant.
Exactly. With the only rules that we have are the Miss and the Little Miss has to either be from Brundage, have to have a physical address be from Brundage, reside in Brundage, or they would have to attend either Pike County High School or Pike County Elementary School.
Okay.
For those divisions, we do that because they are eligible to participate in the Peanut Festival pageant in Dothan. That's held in October.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a preliminary for that pageant.
Good.
For that division. We also, with the other divisions, they can be from anywhere. It is open to girls outside of Brundage for those divisions. It's just the Miss and the Little Miss has the rules. They have to be from Brundage or they have to attend a Brundage school.
Right. And, that's a big plug to Banks because, those kids actually feed into Pike County High School.
That's correct.
And so, is it limited to people in Pike County or can it be like somebody on the edge or?
It could be any, as far as any.
Except those two categories.
Right.
And it's sponsored by the Brundage Business Association, and it's going to be at the Pike County High School Fine Arts Building.
Yes.
You got a 2:00 p.m. show and a 6 p.m.
6 p.m. show.
The 2:00, is that for certain categories?
That is for Tiny Miss, the Future Little Miss, Petite Miss, and Junior Miss.
Okay.
The 6:00 p.m. will take care of the Little Miss, the Preteen, the Teen, and the Miss categories.
Okay. Well, that's great. Now, a little bit more about the Brundage Business Association. Y'all meet again each?
It's the second Tuesday of every month at 5:30.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to sponsor and help this pageant in particular, or is there a need for people to help sponsor little girls?
Well,
how does...
We typically leave that up to them. If they want to go out to find a sponsor, that's fine. We do ask for sponsorships to put on the pageant. So if someone would love to give for that cause, we're appreciative for that.
Okay. And what we'll do, Ms. Baxter, is we'll try to fine-tune this where you can see it, but if for further information you can contact Ms. Baxter at lbaxter0114@gmail.com and 672-2452. Now, is there a website that they can go to?
You can also get information about the pageant. We have a Facebook page. It's Miss Brundage Pageant. So if you want to just kind of look us up on Facebook, we can give you the information from there.
Miss Brundage Pageant. Right. Now, were y'all able to have this last year?
We haven't had the Miss Brundage Pageant in 2 years.
2 years.
The last queens were crowned in 2019. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do it in 2020 because of the pandemic, and things weren't any better last year, so we weren't able to do that last year.
So if anybody's interested in being in the contest or helping sponsor the event, you can go to your Facebook. Imagine if you go to the Brundage Business Association, there might be a link there as well.
Yes, we do have a Brundage Business Association page as well. If you want to just kind of send us a message through that, you can contact me on Facebook. I am on Facebook. The Miss Brundage Pageant. You can also contact Brian McDaniel at Jackson Hardware.
Right. Okay.
So he is working hard with me trying to put this on.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the city of Brundage.
Okay.
And it is going through kind of a revitalization.
Yes.
Because, well, you've got Crow's Chicken. Well, you got Piggly Wiggly. I love Piggly Wiggly. And I always kind of liked Brundage, but I kind of fell in love with it since I started working at the Brundage Country Club a couple of years ago. Through Donnie Mobley, met some great people there. Bud Presswood and others. And it's just it's just a great place, and I met, Mr. McDaniel, and let's talk about some things that are going on in downtown Brundage that has arrived in the last 2 years.
Currently, we are having a ribbon cutting, actually the 24th. I think that's Thursday, maybe, for Small Town Nutrition, where you get the loaded teas, the specialty teas, the shakes. She will be having her ribbon cutting on the 24th at 10 o'clock, I believe.
And who is that?
That will be Tar Norris.
Now, is that on Main Street?
It's on Main Street.
Okay.
It's right there on the corner.
And Monarchus?
Monarchus is coming. I know that I've passed by there every single day. They're working hard trying to get that up and going.
And you got Pretty Patel's Pizza Palace is there.
Yes.
I met Mr. Kennedy.
Yes,
what's
at
his
Kennedy.
First, John? No, was it Craig? Wasn't Mr. Kennedy? But the Kennedy is that's a place where you can rent for an event, weddings, reunions. Is his first name John? I should know his first name. I'm sorry, Mr. Kennedy, but he's been on the show and talked about that. And what are some other things in downtown Brundage?
We have a store, like a clothing and apparel store that just opened up. It's Golden Girls 4. Okay. That's located close to Troy Bank and Trust on Main Street.
The only bank you'll ever need.
We also have Coast and Creek.
Miss
Robin Stinson, she actually has its clothing and
Coast
apparel.
And Creek. Okay.
It's across from the library, Upper Lightfoot Memorial Library. She also has pageant information, so if you want to stop by there and do a little shopping and pick up a pageant application, you can do that.
Now, where all in Brundage can they pick this application up?
Currently, you can go to Coast and Creek at Jackson Hardware and the City Hall.
Okay.
But we're trying to get them all over the place. We want to make this event really, really big this year.
Yeah. And who's the mayor of Brundage?
The mayor is Isabel Boyd.
Yeah, I met her that night as well when we talked about some different things and had some common friends. But Brundage is in, I believe, a dance studio. Is it?
Yes, we do have a dance studio. I totally forgot the name of it, but we do have a dance studio there now.
And and people can still rent the. What's the place downstairs?
That will be the warehouse and Collier's.
Yeah, and I believe it can still be rented for events.
That's right.
As well.
Right.
But there's a lot of wonderful churches and church families there in Brundage and outlying area.
Yes.
And one thing that I wish would kind of make a comeback is the antiques that used to be there. There used to be a couple of nice big antique stores there. But I want to thank you for coming. Is there anything that you'd like to add, Miss Baxter?
No, that's about it. I just hope that we can make this event really, really big this year.
Yes, ma'am.
We're behind 2 years, so now it's time to catch up.
Right. Well, it's going to be the 2022 Miss Brundage Pageant, Saturday, April the 30th at the Pike County High School Fine Arts Building. It's sponsored by the Brundage Business Association. It's 2 o'clock is one event, and the other one's at 6 p.m. Entry fee is $75. There's Miss Photogenic, prettiest hair, prettiest dress, prettiest smile, prettiest eyes. At 2 o'clock, you got the Tiny Miss, the Future Little Miss, Petite Miss, and Junior Miss is at 2. And then at 6 o'clock, you've got the Little Miss pageant, Preteen Miss, Teen Miss, and the Miss Brundage. 2 of those categories, again, Little Miss and the Miss must be a resident of Brundage, Alabama. The other ones can be from anywhere in the county and surrounding areas. And you can contact Ms. Baxter if you want to give that information one more time.
Okay, you can contact me you can email me at lbaxter@gmail.com, or you can call me or text. My number is 334-672-2452. If you need to pick up an application, you can go to Coaston Creek, which is located downtown Brundage. It's right across from the library, City Hall, or Jackson Hardware.
Is that some of them?
Those are our 2019 queens.
Okay.
They have held that title. I think they're ready to give it up now.
Right. Okay, well, great. Well, listen, thank you for coming, and it was a pleasure meeting you the other day at the event that the Pike County Chamber of Commerce had.
Yes, sir.
At Jackson Hardware, that was sponsored by, I believe, Mr. Jason Gregory and Premier Dodge here in Troy, Alabama. But it was a wonderful event. I got to meet you. Next week, we're going to have Carla Johnson from Johnson Labs. She was there, and we hope to have the ladies from the 4-H area here in Troy, Alabama, Miss Abby Peters and Miss Brown. We hope to have them as guests next week, and want to thank you for coming. And we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to finish with some sponsorships. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it. But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it. We say yes. Bring it to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com during our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Miss Latera Baxter for being on the show and representing the Brundage Business Association, and, of course, Ben Willoughby of ATO. I want to thank Ava Jackson and Ben Hall. They're in the studio booth. I want to thank them for what they do. And the following sponsors, I want to thank Kelly Tires. Go visit Rex and Miss Nell. Last week, he did some work on my truck. I put in new shocks and new struts and things, and my truck drives so much better. I want to thank Kelly Tires. I want to thank Southern Grill and Patio, the Hartleys. They sell the green egg and other kind of grills. You can get Bordeaux hot sauces there. Now, Bordeaux steak sauces. You can get those there. They're made with natural ingredients. I want to thank Douglas Brothers in downtown Troy. Mr. Shear Qualls. I want to thank Bird's Drugs. Joe Watson and the Deli Girls. I had breakfast there this morning. It's a super breakfast. Of course, Bob and Mary Wiley of Wiley Pecans. That's where I get all my pecan needs. I mentioned Abbey Lee Photography earlier. Go to abbyleephotography.com for more information about that. Lenny Trawick, he gives guitar lessons on the square, and he has given guitar lessons to a lot of local talented people here in Pike County and the surrounding areas. Don Brown with Flat Tops and Fiddles, want to thank him. There's Kat Deal. She also gives guitar lessons on the square at Flat Tops and Fiddles. Lenny taught her how to play. I want to thank Home Gallery, David and Sherry Helms. See them on Love Street. Sticky Frogs, see Jennifer there in the Southland Village Building K119, Bryant Smith of State Farm. Piggly Wiggly Steve and Jennifer Garrett here in Troy. They have 2 locations. The Chicken Shack of Luverne, one of my most favorite places to eat. I want to thank Kevin and Billy Ann Flowers. They'll put flowers in your yard. Contact them for all your real estate needs. Tina Pouncey, Jordan Burleson, and Beth Rose there at Flowers Realty. I've already mentioned the Old Bar and Restaurant. Thank you to the Chandlers. Signature Hair Design, Shirley and Casey and all the staff there. Want to thank them. Again, want to thank Meeks Termite. And I thank all the sponsors and some upcoming events. Empty Bowls is coming up April the 8th at Bush Memorial Baptist Church. It's sponsored by the Salvation Army. And Goshen High School, Slam Down in G-Town, Friday, April the 1st. It's a wrestling event. Starts at 7:30. You can get in the door for $10. Ringside seats are very limited for $20. It is going to benefit the Goshen High School athletic program. And please go support your local high schools. And I want to thank you for joining us. You can see us Wednesday night. Again, the replay from 9 to 10. We'll see you next week on Good News and Interviews. Good night.